What's up, everybody? Welcome into What You Heard Reviews.
Yes. We are back with another one. Make sure you subscribe to become part of the tribe. Do us right. Hit that like and comment because you're rocking with the content now. We got another review for you. He's going to say it's fire. I'm just going to say it's a review. We got... Tell them who we got, man.
We got Devon, Gilfillian, or Gilfillian. Love You Anyway.
Or maybe it's Devon.
Maybe. It might be Devon.
We got DG in the building. Love you anyway. No. All jokes aside, we got Devon Gilfillian. Love you anyway.
Yeah,
and little R&B sprinkle dankle.
R&B alternative soul is the way I would probably.
Great description.
You have to throw alternative in here because there's about two tracks on here that are definitely alternative. So let's get with the first one that we always do. Is this a project?
Is it as pro Jeezy?
I think it is a project. Love You Anyway is actually a pretty good title because you could throw that into a lot of different ways, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be like when you first hear it, you might think relationship,
right?
Which he does touch on in here,
right?
But Love You Anyway is like, well, you might hate me, but I love you anyway.
Right.
It's just as like a human thing. You know what I mean?
For sure.
What's going on in the world? Mm-hmm. I still love you anyway. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot. So, project wise, when you start breaking it down that way, and you get because R&B is so associated with relationship stuff.
It is,
which is fine, but this is that, but not that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I do think this is a project for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? No. Am I wrong?
No. It is. Like based on the title, it is. So I'm gonna use. I'll do this. Let's go into the next one. Let's go in the flow.
Yeah.
Let's go in the flow because I think the flow will explain my point a little bit better.
And I know I want to say something real quick because I do want you to go.
Okay.
But I just have to say, flow is probably my biggest problem with this album.
Flow is your biggest problem. Flow is the reason I think it makes it a project.
It's my biggest problem with the album to me.
So I think the flow actually is what constitutes it being a project.
Okay.
Because you do have this, for the most part, kind of up and down. You got a slow joint here, and then a up, more uppity type of joint, and so it definitely has a nice rhythm to it, except for one song, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And we definitely differ on this song, but that's really the only thing is like that one song kind of is jarring because it's not similar to the rest. But the flow, I think, is pretty good.
Okay, so this is my issue with it, and it's "Love You Anyway." The title track of the album is the last song on here.
Right.
I honestly believe, man, so the piano interlude, which is song number 10, and then "I Love You Anyway" is the last track on the album.
Okay.
I really think, man, the more and more I thought about it, the more I think piano interlude needs to be track number 1. It needs to be the intro of the album.
Okay.
And then "Love You Anyway," because when you hear "Love You Anyway," I just told you what "Love You Anyway." When he's talking about "Love You Anyway," like he's setting up the project for you. You don't get the context till you're way at the end of the project. So that's my thing with the flow. I agree with you in the sense like it does have a nice motion to it.
Right.
And yes, we differ on one song, but that doesn't matter. Like
right.
that, you could stick that one anywhere. You would have a problem with it anyway.
Right.
So my problem with the flow is like, I think he needs to give you the context first before giving it to you at the end. I
disagree. I think you getting it at the end is what makes it so fire because then it's like you really got to dive into the project. You really got to listen. You really got to listen to the lyrics, listen to what he's saying, and then you get to the end. It's like, oh, Like, even to your point, it's like, love you anyway. Once you listen to the project, you was like, oh, okay, it is a project. I get it now. You know what I mean? Okay. You don't need to get it beforehand.
Agree to disagree. I disagree.
You don't need to see the ending. You know, you want to know the premise of the whole movie. Who got shot? Man, come on.
Next, we have production. Production's fire, man.
Yeah, production's really good on this.
Production's really good, and the reason why it's good is when you're mixing a lot of different real instruments. You know, just from our background and stuff like that as well. Mixing real instruments to make it sound everything apart from each other is not an easy thing to do.
Right.
You Facts. Know, and that I have to give props for this type of music, right? So you want everything blended beautifully. You don't want the vocals competing with guitars.
For sure. And I think he does, going kind of back to the flow, will kind of keep everything right there, is he does a great job of, like, the production is different on every single track. So I think that's what's dope too. Like, he's got different elements. Like you said, there's R&B, there's soul, there's jazz, there's alternative. So the production is what makes this kind of jump at you and you go, whoa, okay, what do we got going on here? You know what I'm saying? And so, in a good way, like, you're like, okay, it definitely catches your ear where you got to listen. So
right. Next is standouts. We kind of changed this up a little bit. If you guys have been following, we had lyrics in there, and we thought, you know what, we're going to change this to standouts. What are some of our favorite tracks or not so favorite tracks? What stands out to us? So, first of all, I will say one of my favorite tracks on here, man, is Right Kinda Crazy. Right
Kinda Crazy is hard.
Yeah, because when that hits, right, like, if I'm familiar with him, right, and we've been following him now since 2020, and you get, like, those first three tracks, right? You get All I Really Want to Do, The Recipe, Brown Sugar. That is very Devon Gilfillian. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean that in any, like, you know what you're getting, right? Then when track number 4, Right Kinda Crazy, comes up, you're like, oh, this is cool. It's a little bit different from what I'm hearing from him, right? And so that really stood out to me. It's like one of my favorite tracks, dude, because you're just like, it kind of hits you, you know? And again, this goes with the flow. Yeah. Right? We're going to keep coming probably back to this, but I love that, man. I love that kind of hits you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I love Righteous, and the one we differ on, man, Follow the Leader. It's dark. It's meant to be dark. It's very psychedelic rock. It is very different from the whole album, but I like it. I think it's a great deterrent from the stuff that we were getting throughout the album. The guitars in this, listen to the very last part of it, guitars in this are fire, man.
All right, yeah. Let's just get one thing out the way. Follow the Leader, put it on a different album. Too alternative. It's way too alternative for this project. That's how I feel about it. It's not bad. It's just it's like, oh, like we got a good thing going on. You know what I'm saying? You just totally put in a new DJ for one song. So, but standouts ones that I like. The Recipe is dope. Love The Recipe. Right Kinda Crazy is dope. I'm Gonna Let My Body Move is dope. And these are all very, very much in his wheelhouse. So if you've listened to his music before, you know that these are the type of tracks he makes. Very dope. But one that I like that's a little bit different is Better Broken because of the lyrics. He's basically talking about, like, I'm better off. You know, the old saying, like, I can do bad all by myself. Like, he's like, I'm better off being broken than dealing with y'all nonsense. And I love, and it's a ballad, but then, like, during the hook, it gets a little upbeat during the hook. So it makes this, I guess flow is going to be the thing that we're talking about with this album. It makes the flow, like, really go on this. So, those are my standouts, man. But yeah, get Follow the Leader, hook out of here. You know what I mean?
And then we have what's the next one?
Replayability. Yes.
Thank you. Replayability. Yes, this is a high replayability for me. Okay. Like, just no question about it.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 for me. It just depends on the mood I'm in.
Cool. Is it a vibe?
Is it a vibrant thing? Kinda. it goes along with replay. Am I in the mood for it? Am I in the mood for it? That's really it. It is a vibe in the sense of but I wouldn't say I'm super, and I think that was been my issue with it. I'm not super vibing with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh, I'm vibing the heck out of it.
I know you are, man.
Really love this
I
album,
know you
man.
are, man. It's that score time, baby.
Yes, give us some
that
scores.
Score time, baby.
Well, you go first because I know it's going to be lower than mine.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
I got it. I got it at a 7. I got it at a 7.
7's not bad.
Because the music is good, and really the only thing for me is that it just wasn't hitting. Like, there was never a moment in the album where I was like, oh man, like there's good songs on there that I like, but there's nothing on there that just meant that I'm like, man, I gotta go back to that track ASAP. And I think that was the whole thing, is I just kept waiting for something to just punch me in the gut, and it just didn't. So I got it at 7 because music is good, flow is good, production is really good, and what he's talking about, his messaging is dope too. So
yeah. This is an easy 9 for me, man.
Okay.
I've been replaying the heck out of this, man.
Okay.
Well, I love this project. I think it's a great project. For me, it's hitting the spots. I haven't heard music like this in a while, in the sense of blending these genres together. It's a nice break from everything else. And I mean everything else, right? Like,
yeah.
So from alternative to rock to hip hop to everything, like it was a nice break for me, and that's why I think I gravitated so much towards it.
Okay.
So I really like it. The messaging, I have to say this, man. We did a podcast called "Are We Broken?" Mm-hmm. And the very last track, right, of his album is the title track, and he says in there, I think it's part of the hook, if I'm not mistaken, is "We are all broken." And we all just need a little bit of love, man. And I was like, man, how cool is that, man? It was like the universe talking to me or something.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's why I like gravitate towards it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see what you did there.
Yeah. So,
what you did there.
Anyways, it's a 9, man. I think it's a great project. I really like his voice too. It's nothing crazy, but it's just nice and soothing to me. You know? So really did enjoy this project. Let us know what you guys think about, man.
Let us know. Let us
you
know
know,
down below.
Is he right? Am I right? Or are we both wrong? Is it trash? Is it a 10? Well, who knows? You know what I mean?
I'm right.
Anyways, you guys stay safe. You guys stay positive out there.
Hey, it ain't about what you're seeing. It's about what you heard. Peace.